It's lunchtime. I'm gonna eat lunch. It's Thursday. Thought I'd talk to you guys about publishing again today because I talked about it last week, and I feel like I have more to say about it, and more along the lines of just writing before you publish and what I feel like is important to do for that. Sandwich, peanut butter and jelly. It's awesome. So anyway, I'm planning on interviewing my friends and other people later. I didn't meet with them today this week. We didn't do a meeting yesterday because I had some other stuff going on. I had the road show and whatnot. So anyway, there's two things that I didn't mention last time. One, there's also online publishing, which I'm not a big fan of. I don't really consider the internet a legitimate form of publication when it comes to writing. Anybody can publish online. You can go set up a blog, go throw your stuff out there, publish, bang, boom, you're done. There's tons of book printing websites on there where you can just upload your stuff, print out a book, and that's done too, which is cool in one aspect, that you can print books and go try to sell them to like smaller local bookstores. But at the same time, I don't know, I feel like you have to go through that process of editing and getting an editor and submitting all that stuff, because I think that's an important part of the process. So anyway, there's that. The other thing I wanted to mention, I didn't really talk about, I know I've talked about group a lot, but you need to have people reading your work for multiple reasons. For one, you need to have other eyes looking at your work, always, because no matter how good of a writer you are, this is just my opinion, no matter how good of a writer you are, you will miss stuff all the time when you're writing, because it's your work, and you just won't see it because it's in your head, but you don't put it down on paper. And I know I do that a lot, where I have my friends read my writing, and they're like, what is this? What is this? I'm like, oh, what's, these different things, this means this, these are these symbols. Like, oh, well, that's not clear in the story. It's like, oh, okay, I got to go back and fix that. And so I feel like, maybe it's I think of more inexperienced authors, but I think all authors go through that, where, if they didn't, why do authors have editors? So you really need to have people reading your stuff for that reason, to catch things, but you also need to get used to the idea of people reading your work. And I think that's why people have a hard time submitting stuff to publishers, because like, oh, I don't know if they're going to like it. What if they don't like it? Then what do I do? And it's like, you know what? So what if they don't like it? What's the big deal? What hurts you about them not liking it? I mean, literally, what does it physically do to you? Absolutely nothing. Hammock time. Nothing happens. All that'll happen is that you don't get published. So what's the big deal? So it's really good to have people reading your work. And when you have friends that are encouraging of your work or interested in your work, or the fact that you're trying to write, it's really good to have them read it, because it's nice to have that perspective on what you're doing. And I also think it's good to have people read your work that aren't necessarily trying to do what you're trying to do, because I have my friends that we write together, work on projects together, we have a lot of different stuff going on. And then I have other friends that I have read my work that really aren't literary like that. They didn't major in English, and they're not trying to pursue writing, and they just like to read. And I think that's good too, because you need to, if you're trying to publish, obviously you want people to read your work. And just because your literary writing friends are into it doesn't actually mean like the general audience is going to be into it, because maybe that your friends will get a lot of the references that you're making that other people won't get, and when the public reads it, they'll just be kind of like, I don't know what's going on here. So have people read your work, all kinds of people. If you can get professors to read your work, if you have it at school, that's great. Your parents, brothers, sisters, friends, neighbors, go to the old folks home, read them your work, whatever. I don't care. Anything. You need to have your stuff read by other people besides yourself. And when you do that, it will make it a whole lot easier to submit to stuff, because you'll get over that fear of like, oh, what if they don't like it? Because no piece is ever finished, especially in the eye of the author. It's always going to be changing. There's always going to be things wrong with it, because we're imperfect human beings. We have a lot of flaws, a lot of shortcomings, a lot of faults. That's just how we are. So I think that was a big thing that I left out last time talking about publishing. I know I'm sure there's a ton of other things I'm leaving out, but these are only the things that I know and that have helped me get the courage to submit to other places. And something else that's also helped me is to submit with other people, whether you guys are submitting to the same journals or not. But it makes you want to submit more, because you're like, yeah, right, we're all going to do it. And even though it's kind of hard if they get accepted and you don't, it's still good. Excuse me. Whew. Excuse me. It's still good to submit with other people, because it's like I don't know. You know, it's like going to the movies. It's a lot more fun to go to the movies with your friends than to go to the movies by yourself. Or to go to a concert or to go do anything. You know, it's always more fun to go play miniature golf with your friends than to go play putt-putt by yourself. You look retarded and it's lonely. It's easier and you feel better, I think, if you submit with other people, because you know that other people are in that anxiety feeling state of waiting to hear back and whether you're going to get published or not. I think that's really helpful as well. So yeah, just really work with other people. Again, whether professors or friends or family, like work with others with your writing, and it'll be so much easier, and it'll be a confidence booster. Even if your stuff is terrible, they can give you pointers, and that'll help you grow as an author and get better in your writing. And it will, yeah, it'll just make the whole process better. The writing, the submitting, the editing, everything. It'll just make it so much better. So, yeah, that's my advice to you guys and to myself about more about publishing. That get other people to read your work. It's important. I need to get people to read my work. Peanut butter and jelly. Anyway, beautiful Thursday today here in Loomis. Parents are gone. I'm watching the dog all weekend. They're having a little trip for my dad's birthday, so here it's sunny. It's like 75 degrees. It's so nice. I'm wearing pants and I feel really hot right now. It's uncomfortable. It's a really nice day. Yeah, that's all. Peace out. Okay, real quick. I forgot to tell you guys this story on Monday, but I was at the grocery store, and since Steph and I get up really early now, it was like 5:30 or 6 o'clock when I got to the grocery store. And I'm there, and I'm sitting there, I'm listening to the radio, I'm finishing up what I'm listening to before I get out, and this old guy walks in front of me, and he's carrying he's pushing 2 full shopping carts, full to the top shopping carts of bagels. This guy's like 100,000 years old, and I'm just like, what do you need that many bagels for, Mr. Old Man? And I was just totally baffled, and it was hilarious. And so he's like, you know, getting to his truck, which is kind of like right next to me and behind, and he's just loading up, and I just get out of the car, just, you know, laughing to myself. But then as I'm approaching the doors, another old guy comes out, the same age, with a cowboy hat on, pushing 2 more carts full of bagels. And I don't mean like, oh, you know, they have like 12 packs of bagels. I mean, they were over the top of the metal rim of the shopping cart. Bagels. At least like 400 bags of bagels. And so I go shopping, and I go through the store, and when I get around to the bread section because I'm gonna get some English muffins, there's like no bagels left in the store. What the heck? What is wrong? I mean, maybe they had like some kind of store, there was like a company picnic, or I don't know, maybe there was something they were getting them for, but regardless of what they were getting them for, who buys that many bagels? And more than that, who buys them that early in the morning? I mean, don't old people like sleep like 36 of the 24 hours a day? I mean, come on. And I know the math there is wrong. I did that on purpose. I'm clever. Anyway, if you ever see a couple of old men pushing a lot of bagels, ask them what they're doing, because I neglected to do so, and I would like to know. So let me know why they had so many so many bagels. All right, that's my day today. Peace out.